Okay. Just gonna go ahead and start my time lapse, I guess. So, well, I use like chrono lapse normally to record whatever I'm doing during jams, and that way I can make like a time lapse afterwards. So it just takes a bunch of screenshots every 15 seconds basically, and then I can use FFmpeg to turn that into a time lapse later. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and start that. Um, yeah. So here's my idea right now. Um, you are a gravity boot salesman, and that's also the name of the game. So you're on an asteroid in space, but it has kind of like living things on it, which doesn't make too much sense because asteroids can't have atmospheres really, I don't think. Or they tend to lose them. Uh, so but anyways, it doesn't have to be too realistic. But yeah, you're on an asteroid in space, so there's not gravity by default. So the people on the asteroid need the gravity boots to stay on the ground. Um, the players it's gonna be platformer, so the players like jumping around and collecting stuff to make boots basically. And you have your own gravity boots, so you can turn the gravity on and off as you want, and then also invert it if you want. So you can travel around that way, and that's how you kind of collect things. Um, so yeah, there's pretty much only two items that you're collecting, which is the gravity cores. I think they'll just come from like a machine or something. And then the plant fiber, which is the main thing you're collecting. So you're running around grabbing plant fiber. Um, and then yeah, you craft them into boots. You jump into like floating NPCs that are just kind of like bouncing around in the place, um, and to sell them their boots, and then they'll just drop to the ground and give you their money. And then there's like upgrades you could buy, and the idea is it's just a fixed time limit, and the score is basically however many boots you sold. And then so here's what I have to do for today. I'm getting started a little bit late. I had to deal with some other stuff. But yeah, so this is just what I have for today. So I want to get the artwork done. I want the game world to be functional, and then implement the basic movement mechanics. So that's going to be the gravity boots for the player and playing with the gravity there. And then yeah, Saturdays where most of the gameplay is going to come in, which isn't too complicated. It's basically a mini game. Um, and I'll do most of the sound. And then Sunday, which I probably won't stream, is me composing the music because I don't like to stream myself composing music. Uh, what did I get for Aeroblaster? I think that was for the Alakajam. You could just go to the page and check. I don't think I got first place. I think I got a medal for gameplay though. I also don't think that was first. I might have just gotten like third for gameplay. I don't know. Actually, it might have been like something weird like second for graphics and third for gameplay. I don't know. Anyways, so first thing I do, and if you've been around, oh, if you watched the last time I did a game jam on stream, you might have seen that I like to start by finding a palette first. And the way I do that is using low spec. So now they have a bunch of random stuff. Duolingo bird. But yeah, now they have a bunch of random stuff, but originally it was just a palette place. And I just go in here and look for palettes, just kind of get inspiration for how I want things to look. Um, so it would be cool to have a car scheme kind of like this. I do like this. I've not seen this one before. This is probably new. Um, I do like that, but I don't think it fits very well with the idea. The thing I'm trying to watch out for, because like the easiest choice is to hang on. The easiest choice would be to just copy. Why do I have 16 notifications on itch.io? What happened? Okay, so I have like I don't know uh why everyone's looking at my itch.io right now, but I had 16 notifications apparently, and I sold Drawn on Abyss twice. Anyways, um, what was it? Oh, so uh, the one thing I'm not super happy with, which there isn't too much for workaround, is the fact that thematically there's a lot of similarities with Moon Rabbit Collection, and then also graphically it would make a lot of sense to copy it, because Moon Rabbit Collection is rabbits on a moon, which is a similar environment to what this one's going to be. I mean, gameplay is going to be quite different. Well, the gameplay in this is also kind of like a fetch quest, although this game is going to be more mechanically involved once you get to the part where you're giving boots to the customers. Um, but yeah, so I kind of don't want it to look like this. I would have rather not made a platformer for this event, but the theme kind of forced me into it. Because if you do like top down, um, you have to do some weird stuff to even have gravity. I mean, you can have gravity, but then mechanically, it's like there. If you're doing with verticality in like a 2D top down game, a lot of times it can feel a little bit funky. So usually you kind of use it in a limited capacity. So the theme kind of forces me into platformers, or there's a couple other things that would work, but it really depends on the game idea. But for the game idea I have, this one has to be a platformer. Um, but yeah, so I'm trying to not copy this. It would be very easy to do that, but I would rather not. So let's see if I can find myself a palette here. This isn't just a grayscale palette. Uh, I'm gonna save that one. I could see this one. I could potentially pull something off with this one that would be pretty cool. But I'm hesitating on that. I'd have to think about it for a bit if I'm gonna go with that one. Anyway, so this is, what is this? Is this latest? I don't know what the default sorting is. Let's go by downloads. So this is gonna hit the ones I've seen already. Actually, no, let's go back to the default. I don't know what this ordering is, but there was some interesting stuff in here. I want to take a quick look through here and see what they have. Um, hmm. Oh, whoa, what is the, hang on. You gifted 50 memberships? Uh, well, thank you. That's a lot of memberships. Um, what on earth? I mean, there weren't even 50 viewers. What? Thank you. How much is that? That's I forgot what the price is. No, I think the base price matches Patreon, so it's like $3. So that's a wait, how can you even, isn't there a limit? Man, it's like 150 bucks. Thank you. Um yeah, wow. Did he say anything? Um I'm curious, is it just like giving it to the people as they join in? I don't know how that gets assigned. Cuz or what even happened? Cuz like normally, maybe it's just like passing them out as the 50 people come in. But anyways, thank you. Um all right. So palettes. Okay. I almost made a game with this one once. That guy's like prototyping stuff with it. I like the easiest way to make this one distinct from Moon Rabbit Collection is to go for a warmer palette, but that doesn't work too well in space. So it's a tricky thing to go for. Um, I thought it was active viewers, so I'm not sure if you guys came in late because I'm looking at the count and I mean it's less than 50, so I would think that pretty much everyone in there would have gotten it. So I'm not sure how that works. Um, hmm. Now this one would be cool. I could do something like this and make it like a single color, or I could do like two colors because I think this one is two. Where is it? Oh, wait. Is my chrono app going? Just double check it. Yeah, it's going. All right. So I think, yeah, this one is like two colors. So I could do something like this and then it would become visually distinct. But yeah, I could do this. Although I feel like one of my strengths is working with multiple colors. So I'm not sure if that's the best idea. Probably wouldn't. It would probably negatively impact me for graphics if I just went for just like one color. Um, here's one that's similar to what I just showed, except it's instead of like a dark blue and a pink, it's a red and a light blue. That's funny. Ooh, this would be a fun one to work with. Now, I'm just trying to look at this image to see how they're using it. So they're using the pink color as the highlight, I guess. I mean, some of it, a lot of it's subjective, and it's dependent on what the base object color is. Interesting. That would be a fun one to use. I'm very tempted with this one. Ooh, that's also cool. I'm not actually. I'm not sure if I actually like the colors they chose, but the concept is interesting. I'm very tempted to use this one. I don't know why I like this um, aesthetic. Do I dare do the jam with a 4-color palette? uh, can I make a poll? Uh, wait. Can I make a poll? Is it plus? Do jam with 4-color palette. Start poll. Now I can't see anything. Oh, it gives it to people who randomly visited the stream before? Oh, that makes sense. I don't think I recognize too many of the names in there, though. But there could be lots of different people. Because if it's picking fully randomly from anyone who's been here before, I don't know. Wait, so you gifted 50 memberships but didn't give you a membership? It's Let's see. So what are we at right now? We're at 92% yes. Oh, and there's someone who actually got it. Do it in one color. I mean, this is kind of one color. So this is like one color ramp. If you look at the way it's being used, it's effectively one color. Um, my volume is low. That I'm looking. I can show you OBS. Like, look right here. When I'm talking, it's up in the yellow. This is where it's supposed to be. So I don't know how it can be low. It shouldn't be. It might be on your end. All right. So let's go ahead and use this one. Because I think this, yeah, it's like 90% from 36. We're going with the 4-color palette. Did I lower the membership? I think, what do you mean? I mean, it should be like $3. Unless YouTube changed it on me. I think I gotta like pull this up in incognito to check it because it shows a different thing. Oh wait, no, I think you gotta be logged in to see it, but you need to be in a different account. I can't see it. Yeah, well, I can if I really want to, but it would take a little bit more work. Anyways, so what I'll do, there's a couple ways to do this. Here, I'll do this the fast way. I'm just literally gonna print screen this. But yeah, this completely solves the issue of it looking like Moon Rabbit Collection. All right, so let's go in here and I'll take those, set this to black. And so the thing you got to think about with some of this stuff is that one of these is basically going to be my background color. And then I'm essentially working with 3 colors after that. So let me save this to... The way I normally structure my projects is I have like a data folder. And then I'll have images. And then I have like sketch.png. This is how I normally start my stuff. And then this is where I start drawing things out. And the way I make my Game Jam games is normally I'll do almost all of the artwork right off the bat. Usually I'll hold off on like animations, but like all the static stuff I'll draw in MS Paint right away. So first question is, what resolution do I want? And to answer that, I'm gonna have to figure out what the player is gonna look like because the player's kind of the hardest thing to get right and in the circumstance, and it's easier to do it if you're not locked to a specific resolution yet, so you can choose the resolution of everything else based on that. What should the player be? I guess it's like a humanoid. Uh, well, so the NPCs, I already kind of have it in my head what the NPCs are gonna look like. Do I want them to be bigger? I'm tempted to just like make them look like silly little stick figures. Let's see. So I could do something like that, and then they kind of like run around and look a little bit derpy while doing it. Um, I think that it should be wider. I'm thinking. Because what it's gonna be is for these NPCs, they're gonna be like flying around, and then when you give them their boots, they'll still be standing. Oh, I also have to show like draw what they're gonna look like with their boots on. But the players should look kind of like the NPCs. I think maybe I'll like give the player something to distinguish it. So that might be like what the NPC looks like. Um, I'm not gonna give them faces. I think it. Should I like? I could give them just like a headband. Um, yeah, I could do like a headband kind of like that or something. And then that would be the player. Or the other option is make the player like that. And then I could do like looks a little bit strange. If I give him a pink head. Or I can just give him like a hat. It's not very futuristic of me, but it's funny. Um, and then we could like give it like something like that. Or should I do that? Here's a hat. Do like that. I think I like the implication more like that. So they'll be like flailing around. I think what I'll do, I think they should be a little bit wider. Hang on, make them wider. Uh, oh, I need a shadow on the head too because ooh, this is tricky because this is where you run into the problem when you're only using like 3 colors. Because the next step down is actually the pink color, but that would make that wouldn't you wouldn't be able to tell what's going on. So I got to do that. Yeah, so the player will have the hat. The NPCs will not have a hat. And then we also need to indicate that you're wearing boots. So I think I'll just start drawing stuff and see what happens. I might just make it like this. And then when the NPC gets boots, we get that. And then they can stand on the ground. The way I'm going to animate the player is going to be tricky. This pose was more for the NPCs like floating around in the sky and flailing. Uh, why did... Hang on. I'm getting a call. Okay, sorry guys, I'm back. Um, uh, uh, I guess I'll say what that was. That was Amazon calling me to confirm the final interview. Um, yeah, so yeah, I'm back and I can work on the game now. Uh, yeah, sorry about that. Um, 7 PLN. What is 7 PLN to USD? That's still like $2. Is it like used to be 15 sounds more correct. I don't know. I'll probably have to check that. I'd imagine there's regional. You might be mixing up the $7 one with the $3 one. Wait, hang on. Let me just write something down real quick. Uh, okay. Game and Watch style. Um, isn't Game and Watch 2 colors? I should make a third tier called Fluffy Potato. Well, I think I guess until now, I only had one member on YouTube. I mean, now it's 51. Most people use the Patreon version. But and I actually didn't mention this before, but the time lapse I'm recording, I didn't want to kind of flood my video feed with it, so I was actually planning on just releasing it for members of Patreon and YouTube. Um, so if you're one of those 50, you'll get to see it there. Um, make a dragon warrior what character? What? Do I use a mouse to draw? Yes. Um, all right. Uh, anyways, where was I? So I do feel like the characters are lacking character a bit, but I think that can contribute to the comedic element. So I think I might stick with this. Now the tiles are going to be usually like my tiles to be larger than the player, because that means if you have like it's just nicer from a design standpoint where if you have any type of gap the player can fit into it, you don't have like a weird situation where there's a small gap the player can't fit into. So for game jam type games, it's nice to have just these tiny little gaps here. But yeah, so let's go ahead and draw some tiles. So let's block it out first. So I need to pick a size. Like I said, I want it to be larger than the player. So that leaves us at, I can do 16 by 16, I think, right? I think that works. How's that? Yeah. So let's go ahead with 16 by 16. Um, so how do I want to do this? So it's an alien environment and there's gonna be like growths on this of stuff. I'm trying to think of like what stylistically I want to go for here. I can make it like blocky, and that way it's like fairly alien. But I think I'll go more organic. One of the things I'm decently good at is drawing grass. Alright, that looks pretty decent. And what I might do here is add just random shapes to just give you something to look at. It's funny that call I got from Amazon, it's actually for to work on the embedded software that runs AWS. Anyways. So we can do that. Now, I want to use this lighter color here to add more, I guess, definition to the grass. Hmm. I want to do this. Could do like that. Almost looks rocky. And actually, so because this is completely separated from the open space, I can use this color here to add some shading. Normally this is going to be the background color, but I can actually use it here. So do I want to like dither this at all? I could dither it. Like that. Actually, how's this tile? Let's move it completely separate over here. Okay, so we're gonna put that one there, and then I think that'll tile a bit better. Okay. I do like the way that looks. I do feel like though these colors are clashing. The brightness seems to be a bit close. But I mean, that's just the palette. Um, hmm. I'm gonna move this down 1 pixel. Because I was up a little bit close there. And I can put that like there. Or here. I like the way that balances visually. Now I need to turn this into a tile set. So the way I do that now is I normally just make a couple more, and then I do the corner tiles with this. Now there's a question of how I want to approach the corner tiles. In this case, I think I'll make the pattern go down like this way. Kind of like that. I need the dark color on my second here. All right. I wanna. All right. Cowboys and aliens? Not cowboys. And I mean, you're kind of an alien. For some reason, I'm real quiet just because I'm focusing. Are you talking about volume? Why do people keep saying that? Was it you that said that I was quiet before? Or no, I think it was someone else. I just proved earlier that I'm not, like, my volume's fine on my end. Like, it's, like, going up to the yellow, which is where it should be. I mean, maybe if you're used to having stuff by red, it's different. Um, I don't want to go too low there. All right, now so it's important to not go too ham on the dithering, because otherwise it just starts to look noisy. So you just gotta be careful with that. This is probably drawn out abyss looking grass. All right. Now, and actually, this is something I do in my games that where did that dot come from? I don't like that. Something I do in my games that is a bit more annoying to deal with in most like engines and stuff is oversized tiles. So I'll make tiles that overflow outside the bounds of a tile, and normally you would have to make another tile for that. In my case, I don't have to. I just have it built into the system that it can support that. All right, so I'm setting up other tiles here. And wait, did I do like what patterns did I use on the tiles in Moon Rabbit Collection? So in Moon Rabbit Collection, I had okay, yeah, I didn't use squares, so I'm good. All right. Now, I think there should be like something. I mean, I could just do it like this. And just kind of like make it rocky. Just do that. And then over here, just add some rocks like this. And connect those ones. And I could actually flip this, so I only gotta do this like once. And then I do need, so I gotta leave, I can't do that because then that'll just be a full gap. I have to have it kind of like there. I can start drawing around here. And there we go. I think I like that. That looks all right to me. So it clearly goes from plant to rock. And something else I like to do in my games is I like to like curve the corners on some of these tiles like that. And in this case, actually what I'll do is I'll copy this one down. I have a bunch of kind of like, I have like a whole procedure around making like tile sets quickly for game jams. So we do that. Can't have the dark color on the edge or else it'll just be the sky. So we got to do that. Now I can do this. There we go. So now that I have that, just take this and flip it. And look at that, we have a tile set. Well, actually, no, we don't, because I need to add... You know what? I'm thinking maybe instead of using the pink here for those patterns, I might just use the gray. So like this. I think this looks better, actually. I don't need that much. Hang on. So I'm gonna have a different pattern right here just so it doesn't look too repetitive. I could realistically tile it, but just wanna make it look a little bit nicer. All right, now just do this one. And wait, no, I need this whole thing. There we go. Rotate that, or flip it rather, and that gives us that. Got ourselves a tile set. Now I want a second one just for variety, and then I might want to. I'm thinking about doing a third one. Do I want to do a third one? Oh, let's do the second one first, and then I can think about if I want to do an extra one on top of that. So, for this one, I want it to be more like I want to do like the big square rocks that I have in Rabbit Collection, because they add nice variety. So there's actually this isn't as much of a tile set itself as it's more of like a decoration type. So there's the small one and then the large one. Yeah, I might do two small ones and a large one. So I'll make this. So we'll have two small ones and then a large one that's going to be 32 by 32. So the way this one's going to work is the edge is going to be white, and then we're going to shade it kind of like down here and add like some definition to it. So I'm just kind of doing this however it comes to me in the moment. That looks like it's taller than 16. What am I looking at here? And it is. It's funny, you do this stuff long enough and you start to get an eye for that type of thing. Wait. Did I get that right? There we go. Now this should be 16. There we go. So, and I can take like this darker one and add even more definition in there. And I could like add that in the corner. Could add if that looks all right. Can add like a little strip there. That looks rocky enough. And then, could do something like that. And then the second one, I want it to be darker. So for this one, let's go right off the bat and drop in a whole square right there. And fill the inside with pink. And how do I want to define this? We can do something similar. All right. Now, how can I add some detail here? I guess like, all right. Now, I think I need to add this over here a little bit. Just so that there's a little bit of definition there. I feel like these don't match very well. Actually, I can go use the darker color too. I guess I can do like this a little bit. Just using it a little bit sparingly. And then there we go. So that's two of them. Now for the big one, which I want it to be more in the style of the top left one here. So we want like that, and you know, now that I think about it, it's been a minute since I've done pixel art like this, because I think the last one was like Yanok stuff. All right. All right. There we go. Now I've got a fair bit of definition going on. Now I just gotta add the pink. This is kind of my first time using like a color like this, or a palette like this. All right. Hmm. Just following my gut on this. Not my best piece. Just trying to get it done quickly, because everything is timed. I could like add like little cracks almost. So like just go in here and add little thingies. Looks all right. All right, now we can go and add a little bit of darkness. Oh, thanks for the $2, Daily Doge. Why does it just... Why... I'm confused about... It just says like. There's no message. I don't know what that is exactly. It's not a... Is that what happens when it's not like... When it's one of the smaller ones? Oh yeah, you said you meant to say something? What did you mean to say? I guess you can send nothing? Is that what happened? uh... Alright, so I'm gonna save this. And then now I can think about, do I want to do the other thing? Actually, no, I shouldn't do the other thing. You know why? I'm out of colors. So the thing I was thinking about doing was having like kind of like a background pattern. Like, so what I like to do in some of my games is have like kind of like a rocky pattern in the background that connects like floating stuff to the ground, so it's like physically connected. So you don't physically interact with it, but it's there visually. Problem is I'm out of colors, so if I add something like that, it's gonna be very visually noisy. Try using tile setter, it's good. What is tile setter? And thanks for the extra $2. Tile setter. Oh, actually, I think I've seen this. Um, so that's partially tile maps. And then do you draw in it or? Huh. I guess, yeah, so it's a tool kind of to turn, can do a lot of things, it looks like. But yeah, so I have my own level editors though, and I think this would be one of those things where it probably doesn't deal with oversized tiles too well, but it looks like a useful tool. Uh, you saw those types of videos where I casually dominate upon others using paint in Pygame. Well, so I'm not anticipating of scoring super high on this one. Not the greatest idea I've had, and then the artwork is gonna be pretty limited because of the palette. So not gonna be getting first place in graphics, I don't think. So I would just like to get a medal. Not really going for first this time. No, I don't have a drawing tablet. Will I still make a video on Yannick's performance on Steam? I don't think I ever said that I would, but I might. It's just there's not a whole lot to talk about. I mean, I'm like coming up on 2,000 sales, uh, and that's about it. I mean, it's got 100% positive from 50 reviews, so there's that. And actually might be uploading it to itch.io soon. We'll see. Uh, LDTK is pretty good. Yeah, that's the one that I was looking at recently, but I did decide to go with my own. I think if I was making like a lot higher volumes of stuff, I would use LDTK, but I'm not one to make like I guess the types of games where you need to make a ton of environments. What software is this? MS Paint. Yeah, I'm doing a lot of work right now. Oh wait, so where am I? So I need stars for the background. So we can just draw a couple of those real quick. So stars are easy. Just like, let's do this and you're good. So that's a big one. And then I can make a small one. And then we can have like a really small one, which is just that. And then we also want probably that one too. So those can be our stars. Now we might also want some other rocks in the sky. So for that we can, let's do 4. So we do that, and then should start with this, and then I'll shade around that. So I want a crater to show up here. So to do that, I gotta kind of draw around it. So that I guess can be a small one. I need a bigger one. There's a funny trick for drawing circles where you just you start with like 1 in a direction, then 2, then 3, then 4, and it gets you a pretty decent approximation of a circle. I think it ends up looking a little bit more, slightly more diamond-like than is normal for a circle, but it's a pretty good approximation. But yeah. So this one, I didn't like how it was hard to see the craters on the other one, so I wanted to make a bigger one here. And we'll do that. I don't like that. Oh yeah, craters are tricky. So let's just draw the general shading first. And then I can draw the craters out of this. Like that. Wait, is that correct? Yes, that's correct. And then over here I can like add like stuff like that maybe. And a little hole right there. Maybe over here I can smooth that out a bit. All right. So those are our two astral bodies. And then, so that's some of our background art. What else did I need? Oh, I need artwork for abilities and icons. So I need the plant fiber, I need the boots, and I need the gravity core. I think this should be pretty easy. So first of all, let's make an inventory slot. So an inventory slot will be like, doesn't need to be that big. I think like 12 by 12 might actually be enough here. So I do want it to be one bigger than that, because I need to have like an outline. So you'd be able to do that. So we do that. And then on the inside, I want to have spacing there, but then it comes out like that. And then now we can draw our items inside here. First one is the plant fiber. So I think the way I'll do this is like, you have like a leaf. And then like fibrous looking stuff. Can't be too big, it's gotta fit inside. But I think this gets the idea across. Does this fit? I think it fits. All right, so now I can shade this, just to give it a little bit of definition. There we go. So that looks like plant fiber to me. With the name, you can tell what it is. Without a name, maybe not. But that's kind of how these things go. It'll probably say like plus plant fiber or something when you pick it up. Ooh, one too wide. So there's a solution for this. Just do that. And there we go. So that'll be the plant fiber. So if I wanna, I'm gonna keep this stuff separate up here, and then I'll have like kind of like an example thing down here of what this might look like. So we turn on transparent selection, and then we just drop it in there, and there's our plant fiber. So that's what'll pop up on your screen when you're holding it. Now I need a core. A gravity core is what it is. I think I want to make that kind of as a cylinder. And then it just kind of goes down. Can't go down too far because I only have so much space. And I will make it like striped, maybe. The pattern in the middle, that's what I'm thinking. So I want a red stripe, and then that works. Now the core, I don't know about. I think we might want. I want to do this. You make it like shiny almost. Yeah, let's make it shiny. Got like a lid on it. Let's close that off. Or if I want to do that, I'm thinking no. How much space do I have? So this is the max height here. So this is 10 tall. Do I have one more pixel? No, I'm over by 2. Yikes. What is the solution here? I guess let's trim it down first and then go from there. So I could do something like that. That'll fit. What is this exactly? I don't even know. Oh, let's move this over here. And then we'll drop one of these in it. So this is the gravity core. And then so the last thing is the boots. So the boots are red. I think I want them to have like metal looking soles. I think that's already too far. And then, so what I'll do is kind of like a silhouette of a second pair back here. Can I do that? So. And here's the sole. And we can add like some stuff right there. Or maybe we can do like this. Those are the gravity shoes, I think. So what size did I have? I have up to 10 in height, and I'm using 7. So I've got space. I can add a little bit more detail. I want to do this. So I can make it wider first of all. And then I want to make it taller. That's 7 by 7. So now I can, it goes to, how do you run Pygame without tutorials? The documentation or reading code are the only other 2 ways, unless you count using AI. But yeah, the documentation's all right. So my latest video is kind of like an API overview, so you can watch that. It'll kind of go over the most of the features in Pygame. It's not really like a normal tutorial, so if you're coming in with more experience, that's more appropriate. How do you write the code though? I mean, if you don't have any experience with Python, you should probably learn that first. I think I have more vertical space, right? Yeah, I got one. I got two more actually. So we'll pull that down. These boots are looking a little chunky. I think what I'll do, I'm tempted to like do some stuff on the inside here just to. The problem is you would more likely see something like this if you were shading it, but can't do that because then it just becomes the background. So I think I just have to leave it as a silhouette. Let's see how this looks on its own. It's not as detailed as the other ones, but it's not a whole lot I can do without kind of losing what it is. So, I mean, it fits. So those are the gravity boots, and then you give those to things. Those are the 3 items. What's next? I will put my to-do and see what items we've got left here. So we've got the NPC and the NPC with boots on, the player, we've got the items, we've got the background stuff, we've got the tiles. I think it's the core that's left. And the crafting area, so I don't know if I might want to make that like an anvil or something. That doesn't make much sense from a world building standpoint, but it's easier to understand for players. And then I might use just a box for where you get the cores. So I'm trying to see if there's anything else I'm forgetting here. Oh, the fiber things you're actually collecting that appear too. That might be part of the decor asset, so I'm not entirely sure how I'm gonna do that yet. We'll figure that out in a little bit here. Yeah, so I said, what did I say? I feel like there's something small I had to draw first. Oh, right, the anvil. Anvil time. Just I need one more pixel there because I want it to be too wide here. Actually, so no, I want that to be thinner and this to be wider. And then to make sure that people can tell that it's an anvil, we will make it shiny. So I should start like this, and then we can make it shiny from there. So the way you make things shiny, you draw diagonal stripes on it. There we go. And then we want the surface to be highlighted so it ends up looking like this. And then maybe we want like down here a bit. So that'll be the anvil, I guess. At this resolution, things are not going to be super clear. But I'll make use of text and stuff to make sure that people know what they're looking for. And it'll be like, I think it'll be like almost like a bubble that pops up by it that'll say this, like it needs 3 of the fiber or whatever and 1 of these in order to make that. And I could write that as like a math equation. So 3 of these plus 1 of these equals this. And then when you're walking near it, maybe it'll pop up, like it'll pop up like the key you need to press. So you press the key and then it'll give you the thing. All right. I think the anvil does need to be a tad taller. So let's go ahead and raise this up. And all right, I think that's good enough. And then I could make it a little bit 3D. So like if I did something like that. But that I would have to be more consistent with some of the other stuff I'm drawing there. So it's a little bit visually confusing. Anyways, so the other one is going to be a box. So there's going to be like a small box that you can like walk up to, and it will have the gravity cores in it. So you can just take as many gravity cores as you want from the box. I want to do this. Should be, I think it should be like open kind of like this. And I need to make it more box-like. Where should I draw the line on the box to make it look like a box? Well, first of all, I mean, I could go like halfway down, or I can just like put a cross through it pretty much. Like that. Then we do that, and that's not what I meant to do. And then, so there'll be like a bubble above this one showing this icon, just so you know you can grab it there. I think there'll be bubbles a little above a bunch of things just so you know what to interact with. I think, though, the anvil might need to be a tad taller. There we go. So that'll be the box you pull the gravity cores out of, and the anvil where you make the shoes. What's next? Plants, I think, are last. And then I'll have like all the artwork I need, and I'll just have to do the animations later. Let me take a look at chat for a little bit though. Making jam-winning games with MS Paint and Pygame. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with using MS Paint. It's perfectly fine for stuff like this. I'm not using the Windows Windows 11 MS Paint though. I'm using the old one. Not the Windows XP one though. What's the game going to be about? Building shoes that you sell to people who are floating around, and the shoes allow them to stand on the ground because there's no gravity because you're on an asteroid. What is my time? You can see in the bottom right, it's 6:50 p.m. How to do the character in the corner? I don't see character in a corner. Does the white color become transparent? That's what it'll be, yeah. I'll color key it. In the game, this is going to be black. So I have to use it very sparingly, or else you're not going to be able to see anything. Oh, I do also need to draw grass, because I will use my grass system, because why not? I think the grass, I got to be very careful with how I do this. I think I'll do it as this color, but I'll save that for later. For now, let's focus on plants. So some are just gonna be for decor, and then some of them are gonna have like stuff you need. Um, there'll be. Did I just lose internet? Not enough memory to open this page. What is going on? I have enough memory. There's a memory leak in my Google stuff. I just reloaded it, but did anyone else's chat just crash? Okay, now really Google's forcing me to verify that it's me because I reloaded the page. Hang on. I have to do 2FA midstream. Thank you, Google. Uh, press the number on my phone. Yes, that is me. That is the number. There we go. Now I can go back to whatever I was doing. That's a new one. I've not had that happen before. I was like really close to hitting 200 concurrent viewers one time, and then my stream just randomly ended. And I never got that high again. But that is a thing that happens. That was different from what happened this time though. Anyways, I was just about to draw some plants when that happened. So I'm gonna copy a lot of stuff from Drawn Down a Basic. Let me just show you guys what that looked like. Because this game had a bit more of an alien environment to it. So had like plants growing off the walls and stuff. So if I draw stuff like that, it'll be more fitting. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. And I might do that thing where I've got like multiple layers of tiles so that the world doesn't look too flat. I'm tempted to add a ramp tile as well. I think I should. Problem is that the ramp tiles look funny once you need a corner tile. Actually wouldn't look too bad. I'll think about it. In the meantime, plants. So I just want like a simple leaf growing out of the wall. So there's our simple leaf, and then we can like flip it to get the same thing again. The plants will be red. I think that's what I've been doing generally, is that kind of more natural things are red, and then grays for like rocks and stones and metal and stuff. I mean, there's exceptions, of course, like the players, but or maybe they're robots, we don't know. All right. So there's a leaf. And if I like do this, it implies that it's kind of like bending. I'm not sure if I like that. I think I'll leave that part and then. That looks alright to me, I think. I think I do need a little bit more here, though. So we do that, and then we got ourselves a leaf. So just to even it out, we'll add like another one. Think that'll be fine. It's good enough, I guess. All right. So what I can do with this, though, is I can flip it. And if you're careful with how you place these things, you can actually get a lot more variance out of it. So if you like hide part of it behind, if you hide part of it so you get that, you can have a few more things to work with. This looks kind of like a butterfly if I do that. But yes, it's two things of leaves. I can place them on either side. Now, so those are like just basic decor things. I want like a bush, almost. Or maybe, well, let's try the things that give you the items first. So they're gonna be like these stalks, I guess. I want them to be like not right on the like ground or right on the wall. So it'll have, I actually kind of want it to be a bit geometric. So I will make this very geometric. Maybe we'll see how this looks. So what I'm thinking is that the fiber can appear in a couple places on the plant. Looks like a telephone pole almost. Let's thin it out a little bit. And then we can give it like a leaf right here, just so that it looks a little bit natural. I wanted it to be kind of like bark-like, but it's very tricky to get these things right. That looks all right, I guess. And so what it'll be is that at the ends of these spikes, it'll have, I guess, these, this is what you're going to collect. I need to use like all the colors on this so that the player knows that they need to take it. So actually, based on the way it's drawn, I think I gotta make this an odd width in terms of pixels. So we do that, and now we do the edge here. So these are gonna be what you collect. And that'll be what you collect. This will give you the plant fiber. So they'll appear like right here or like right. I think I need like longer branches here. So the way this will appear, it'll appear like right here. Did I do that right? No, I need like one more pixel here. So appear, yeah, right here or right here, I think. Right here. Or right here, or right here, or right here. And then you gotta grab it. And then that'll turn into plant fiber in your inventory. And then you take that over to the anvil. What else? I need a bush. Uh, I'm trying to think if I want to do like anything with lighting. I might. So what I might do is like the player can see a certain space around themselves, and then they can see where the plant fiber appears. Because those will be glowing, and then maybe there'll be light, or maybe I don't want to do this. Just in case, I'm not sure if I'll do this yet. We'll decide later. Um, how? Wait, I'm thinking. Yeah, that'll work. Um, wait. Would I do that in shader? I'm trying to think of the best way to do this because I could do like a gradient type thing, but then that would like distort colors. I think that would be fine though if I do it just a little bit on the edges. Yeah, I can do it in shader. You pass that into the shader, and then the shader like just you pass the white map kind of into the shader, and then the shader does the rest of the work in picking the colors based on the palette. Um, okay. So, but for that, I need torches and stuff. Um, this plant can. I think what I'll do. No, I think I do have to make these facing in all directions. Hmm. I think what I'll do is I'll make a tile that marks this, and then I'll place it. No, I'll have 4 different tiles that I'll place, and each one will tell where the base is, and then this will be dynamically placed along with these. The thing I don't want to deal with is having to pick the coordinates for all where all of those are going to spawn 4 times. So, uh, we'll just do math. Um, okay. Bush or tree. I can do tree. Do I want to do tree? Should I do tree? I think I should do tree just so I can use my foliage system. That would be funny. I think. I'm gonna copy the vine thing that I've got going on. I'll use the vines for lighting. Because if you looked in and drawn down Abyss, I had like these little bulbs on the vines, and I could totally use these for lighting. So I just make that, and then use this for lighting. It would be cool if I had time to animate them so they could swing a little bit. Or like actually use relay integration to make them swing, but I don't have time for that. So we'll do that. So we need a hanging one, and then we need an upright one. Just looking a little bit fat near the base there. All right. So I think that'll be good enough. Okay. And then let's shade a little bit on the base just to make it look nice. There we go. So those are our vines that we'll use for lighting. And then we need a bush for the ground. So there's a couple ways to do this. So that'll be the shape of the bush, I guess. Did I leave enough space? I gotta move this. Make this a little bit bigger. Got a little bit more space to work with. All right, so bushes are an interesting beast. So let's just like get the rough shape in here. I might dither this one a bit. Oh, didn't close that all the way. And then from here, I can go and add these. There's one side of the bush. And there's the other. I'm gonna connect these a little bit, just like that. Something I like to do is to add a little bit more depth to, but like things like this foliage, by adding like leaves that kind of stick out in the background color. And then last thing is to add, I guess, some stuff here. And I think we got ourselves almost a bush. Let me just add a couple more pixels maybe. Behold the bush. We got ourselves a bush. All right. We've got plants growing on the walls, vines for light. This thing will be rotated in a bunch of directions to get a plant fiber. And then what next? I did mention possibly doing a tree. I think I will do a tree. How do I want to do this? I'm going to go over to the right here. Tree time. So this will be the wood color, I guess. gonna be a chubby tree. All right, so let's just like don't underestimate how much. This is like a 3-year-old's tree right now. That's what how Pixar goes though. Not text. I want that. Okay, so that will be the tree. Let's clean this up a bit. I think so. That's the rough shape. What'll happen is I'll draw leaves sticking out of it. I have to be very careful with how I use this color here because I don't want to interfere with the bark. Actually, here's how I'll do it for now. Let's make that color. It won't be in the end, but we'll do that, and then I can draw like the highlighted parts here. No. Okay. There we go. That's some better shading. Okay, now I can do leaves. Now leaves can take a while. Or actually no, so I have to be careful with how I draw the trees in this style because of there are some things that look better than others when it comes to this my foliage animation. So here's how I did it. What the my layering's messed up. Here's what I did here. So I did larger clusters. Larger clusters will look better. And yeah, okay. That's how that works. I need the large clusters. We want so it's less about the leaves poking out like it is like the bush when it comes to, I think, the style. I'm just like scribbling leaves on there. I'm not trying not to spend too much time on this because trees can be very time consuming if you're not careful. All right. Okay, now we need some realistic patterns over here. think like maybe right here we could have some definition, and maybe like right on the edges over here. All right, and maybe like a little bit right here. I think I do want to work on the definition on the edges a little bit. Let's see. Only gotta do this in a few places for it to look decent. Now let's do the other stuff here. It's a okay looking tree. You need more stuff like right here. Tree. I almost feel like it needs like just a little bit of something in the middle here. And then we just do that. Looks decent from a distance. Okay, now we can go ahead and do the bark. So the way I'll do this. Oh boy. First of all, let's go ahead and I need to add like some stuff here just so that you can tell the bark from the tree. So this is how I'm cheating on this. And then, so when I'm doing this though, I can go ahead and grab this color and I can use it to shade a little bit over here. So that's looking okay. Let's go ahead and add a little bit of highlighting over here though. I think that looks okay for a tree. I think we'll go with that. All right, so that's pretty much all the artwork I think I need. Uh, Let me look through the chat real quick. So we got. Oh, because it's been sent a lot. I'll just look at some of the recent stuff. What prevents me from using code? I mean, so there are rules about what you can and can't reuse. So it's about kind of like what's already released out there and stuff, I think. But I mean, technically you could reuse something and people probably wouldn't notice. But I mean, so in the thing I'm reusing in this case is going to be my base framework for making games, which is already technically open source. The license went open source, I think, mid last year. So you can rip it out of like Moonrabbit Collection. Just that one, just the core part, it actually kind of labels it in the code what can be used there. Oh, the thing I was thinking about adding that I do want to do is ramps. Man, I'm being a little bit ambitious here. So it was 16, I believe, 16 by 16. And I only gotta do one ramp and I just flip it. Quite simple. So just like so that'll be the ramp, I guess. Just put in some. This is a weirdly shaped one. It's gonna look a little bit funny because I don't have a whole lot of space to work with. I don't want to have it too wide on the corners here, or else it'll be very obvious that there's a gap. And then I could add like, I'm being generous. Okay, so the way this is gonna look is, well, first let me mirror this. So we got two of them. But the way it'll look is you'll have like your, this one. How tall is that? It doesn't say, does it? How tall is this thing? I don't know. I think it like goes like that. Let's just put this in and let's see what it looks like. So the way that connects there looks pretty good. Now the one that looks rough is when you've got this part here. I don't know how tall this thing is. Okay, so okay, it makes sense. So that's where it should be placed. So this is just like an example of what we're dealing with here. I mean, realistically, I could just put like one of these right here. That's perfectly valid. So yeah, there's no corner tile, so this spot right here doesn't have anything. I could draw that if I wanted, but I don't feel like it. So we're gonna leave it like that. But yep. So I think that's pretty much everything. We've got the bush, the sideways leaves, the the vines. Let's make a smaller vine. I'm like really pushing it with how much art I'm doing right here. How are we doing? I'm gonna take a look at how I'm doing on time in a moment. I don't think it needs to be that thick. It can be a little bit thick, but all right. So that one won't have anything on it, so it won't glow. All right, so that's what I'm working with, I think. Anything else? I'm gonna take a quick look through here and see if there's anything I'm missing. So it takes place on an asteroid in space. You got the boots. Oh, the cooldowns. And I think I need a smaller icon for the bubbles for each thing. So, yep. I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. I'm back. Okay, so small icons and cooldowns. Oh, button icons too. For that though, I need to look up the Azerty keyboard. I can't remember if it's 2 or 3 keys that are next to each other that are consistent. Okay, so Z becomes W, so you don't actually want to use Z. All right, here, I'll pull over what I'm looking at here. So here's the keyboard layout that a lot of people in this game jam are using because there's a lot of Europeans, or I mean, historically there were. So a fair number of people are using this keyboard layout, and it really annoys them if I use certain keys. So if I want, well, for movement, it's gonna be arrow keys. That's the easy part. That'll just be wherever your arrow keys are, and that's pretty consistent across layouts. Now, the hard part is figuring out what buttons I want to have for abilities. So the way it's going to be is I'm going to have 2 of them for controlling your boots, and then the third one for interacting with stuff. So, I think so. When you're at the anvil, you'll press one of them. I think that'll be V, because I like the rightmost button being. Well, I'm looking down at my keyboard right now just for comparison. But yeah, so the keys I can work with are X, C, and V, because those are going to be in the same position in a row on both keyboard layouts. So here it's W, X, C, V. On QWERTY it's Z, X, C, V. So I can do anything I want with X, C, and V. Oh, B and N are also in the same spot. That's interesting. So it's like a lot of a good chunk of that bottom row there is the same. But yeah, so V will be interact. C will be, or maybe I should make X interact. I don't know. There's something nice about the UI showing like an X. Although I feel like people are more dexterous with their pointer finger, which is what would be on V, which I think makes more sense to, even though you're not using it for a dexterous action, I think it makes more sense for the interact to be on your dexterous finger. Um, so yeah, so it'll be right and left arrow, and then up to jump. V is interact, and then X and C are gonna be the keys for playing with your boots. So there's gonna be two abilities. One of them is gonna invert gravity, and the other one's gonna um, toggle it. So I think there's a couple ways I could depict this. I could like literally draw an on-off switch. That's tempting. Wait, do people still see this stuff nowadays? I don't know, like the 0 and the 1 on switches. Like when you have a switch, it's actually got a 0 and a 1 on it. Let me see. Did I do this right? Yeah, that's right. And it can't be more than 10 tall. That's fine. Okay, so I think I'll show like the current state. So I'll have like one. I forgot I think on is normally the top one. So gravity on, you'll have your 1 right here. Ooh, this is gonna be tricky to fit. That's a switch. And so the way this will work is it's on by default, which means we do this. So the one that's not pressed is what sticks out. I think I'll like do that. And I could also just like do that. And then when you flip it, there's another way to do this though, and that's you could only disable it if you're in the air. Because the annoying thing is if you're not in motion and trying to think about the best way to do this to have the controls and just the mechanics be the easiest to understand as possible. Because if you're just standing on the ground and you flip that, nothing's gonna happen because you don't have any motion. So if there's no other forces, even without gravity, you still stay in the same spot. Um, mm, Hang on, let me just draw this switch and then I'll think about it some more. All right. So this is what it'll look like when it's off. I don't know if that's a I don't know if I like how that looks. But there's not like a symbol for gravity that I can use to depict what's happening. And I mean, looking at that, I mean, people wouldn't really be able to recognize that as an on-off switch. And that's kind of part of the thing is because if the icons for the action and what I'm gonna do is I'll have like keys. So the funny thing about these keys specifically is they can also fit on some very small icons. Not all text fits that size. So I can make like a button like that, and then that could be like a button. And then, so that'll be a blank one. I'll just leave that there in case I need it. But, so we have 3 of them I need to show. Actually, I need, a few more than that. Running out of space. All right. Okay. So, time to draw the keys. So the first one's X. This is the amazing thing about these keys. Look at that. They all just fit. And then if I want to do these are the arrow keys. I could like do this too. I wanted to like fill it out a bit more. Do I want to do that? I think I like the way it looks filled out. So those are the keys you need to play the game. And what will happen is the abilities will be shown on the bottom, like kind of like the inventory, but not. And you'll have like this thing in here. Oh, since it's odd width. Oh, that's annoying. It's another reason to not use it. But let's say this is the toggle. I would go and put this up here. Actually, realistically, what's going to happen? I need more space. So 1. Oh, wait, no, I need to go 2. More space. All right, so what's gonna happen? These are gonna have outlines. Actually, realistically, these ones should too, just so that they're easy to spot. Kind of like that. So that's what it should be. Can add them over here. But yeah, so these need outlines. I think I'll just redraw the keys. It's easier to redraw them. So it was X, C, and V. We got this stuff. So, and the way this will look, it's like, I mean, this will appear over here like that. So that's how you know it's a press. And like, because when you start the game, it'll show you these ones for moving around, and then you look and you'll see this. So that'll be your ability, and then there'll be like cooldowns on that. How do I want to do the cooldowns? Yikes. I think I'll do like, Maybe I'll just make it a battery, because this kind of already looks like a battery. So that's what could represent just whether or not it's on or off. So battery time. But this time I want to make it even width, because I think no, right there. Man, batteries would look better if I could make it odd width, but it'll put it off center. This is the annoying stuff you have to deal with when you're doing the pixel art. You don't have to think about, hey, is my image going to be even or odd width, and how is that going to line up with everything else? There's a lot more spatial you have to be concerned about, I think. Is the positive or the negative side? I'm thinking more of like magnets, but I think we'll do it like this. That looks like a battery, I guess. Kinda. Good enough. Maybe we could do like that. That looks like a battery to me. So what I'll do for these to fade them out and kind of like indicate the cooldowns. I'm wondering if this might not be clear enough. But I think it's the best way to do it. So you just knock everything down a shade. And then you blend them together based on like you have like a vertical bar that moves based on how far you are from getting it back. You knowing there's another issue with this though. I might need 3. Okay. So how do I want to do this? So the problem with the way I was thinking of doing it was like you blend it. So it's like if you see something like this, your thing's like halfway to being ready. The problem is when it's like 90% ready, it'll look the same as when it's ready. So to fix that problem, this has to be the color I use when the bar is coming up, and then before that I have to do this. I'm gonna make it a silhouette. Do I want to do it like that or like this? I think I'll do it like this. So you start with a silhouette, and then it fills up and turns into a darker version of the image, and then once it's actually ready, it looks like that. And all of that's going to be happening inside this slot, so it's going to be blending like 3 images there. Now I need the other one, so that's the hard one. The easy one to come up with a design for is this one, I think. I think it's easier. Is that 10? That feels like 10. Maybe it's 9. It's 9. Okay. I think that fits. So this is the thing that'll be for switching the direction of the gravity. So you hit that, and then it'll flip the gravity for you. Uh-oh. Hmm. That is one too wide. Yeah, there's a middle pixel there. So the solution is to squish it a little bit, but there's not really a... I think that's still readable. You can tell what it means. Um, Now, there is another problem here, is what does the silhouette of this look like? So I might have to be a little bit creative here. Um, Man, 4 colors is tough. I'm putting a lot of pressure on myself here with that. So what I might do, what I'll do. So you got this, right? I think I'll like do this. So that's kind of like the outline version. Sometimes you gotta take liberties with stuff. So those are the two abilities. Um, Now what? I think next up was grass. So I got the keys, I got the abilities. I think it's just grass. Uh, so the grass, I'm not gonna go too crazy with. So I just need some like stalks. Actually, I'm tempted to make it like kind of fatter. Rather than blade-like. Okay, so those will be the 4 stalks that we use to make the grass. And yeah, that's fine. I'm gonna have to like steal the grass code from Yonox because there's a bug in the old stuff. Annoying. So I think that's all the artwork. Next up is tile sheets. And then yeah, I gotta turn this into sheets. And like make all the images that I need. I'll read chat first. You got a menu item ready? Huh? Oh, speaking of items, I remember the thing I forgot like 3 times already. The mini versions of these icons. I'm not sure if I can get them smaller. No, you know what? For clarity, I think I'm just gonna keep these icons and just use them as is. What I should do though is put an outline on them just so that when I show them over a different color, they're visible. Um, those don't need icons or outlines. If you're creative with how you do your outlines, you can actually add more detail using them. So like, if you look here, I didn't put in this corner right here, so that makes the toe look a little bit smoother, and then also the front here. Anyways, this one is just gonna be round. Nothing too complicated. It looks like it might be a bit tall. No, it's fine. All right, now this one's gonna be a bit of a headache. We'll just do bare minimum outline first and then figure out where I wanna bulk things out. I know for a fact I want that corner one, so I put that in. Actually, it's probably hard for you guys to see what I'm doing because the colors, like this dark color is pretty similar to the black. I think that's what I'll do. That looks decent. Okay, so we have the outline on those. I think that's pretty much everything. Alrighty. Oh. Oh. So tile map. I forgot what the layout is. I'm gonna have to check Yanok for this because this is the last thing I did. Data, images, sprite sheets. Yeah, I think it's. I did like a weird mix here. So it seems like it works with either. So like on this one, just the blue thing, and it's just one wide, and then sometimes it's two. I'll do one wide because it seems like it works. So yeah, I gotta split this up into sprite sheets. This one right here can pretty much stay as is. Actually, not quite. I gotta like shift this a bit. This has to go like right there, I think. Or, well, they're all oversized, so it's easier if I just do it like that. And then, yeah, okay. So here's what I'll do. I need one outside. I'll make another paint thing. And let's get this over here. So the color I need is this. So what I'll do for these tiles is they're all the left and top ones are going to have the same offset in order to handle their oversized nature. Last thing I need from here are these ramp ones. So these ones I'll just put down here. They can go like this. They gotta go up one. Do that, and then that. And we've got ourselves our first tile set. So these ones are going to be solid. I'm going to put them in a different sheet. Data, images, sprite sheets, and then we'll have our grass. It's mostly rock, but I'm calling it grass anyways, because why not? The hitbox on this one might be a little bit funny. I probably won't use it right on the surface because of that specifically. So let's just grab this here. We got our big one, and we got two small ones. Nope, window. Now we just add these things. The blue is what tells the sprite sheet loader where the tiles are. It has an algorithm for scanning for them. So I just have to mark these things with blue and it'll know, hey, that's a tile. And so this will be solids. And then those are going to be, well, so the last thing now, that's not what I want. I want this one black. I need, so this is going to be the decor. Ooh. I just noticed an issue with my foliage system and this artwork. It automatically animates based on color, but because the color in the leaves is also used on the trunk since it's one color ramp, yeah, that's a problem. It needs to be able to tell the difference. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to separate it, and I'm gonna do a little cheat here. We just change the color by 1. And then we just drop that over here. Can't really see what I'm doing. And that's the point, is that it's the same color, but not actually. It needs to look the same. We gotta do the same thing for this too. So I'm cheating a little bit. I'm using more than the set number of colors, but you won't be able to tell when you're playing the game. I might have to do some rounding in the shader because of that though, when I'm detecting the colors for the lighting. Anyways, so I'll make a foliage sheet. That'll be this one. I don't think I'll include the bush because the sizes are just way too different. All right, there we go. So this foliage sheet literally just needs the tree in it because that's the only piece of foliage that will be animated. So we'll call this foliage. And then, so now the last one is decor. So for this one, well, I'm just gonna put everything on this one. Oh no, I'm gonna have like an entities one, maybe. Yes, I'll have an entities one and a decor one. Yep. So this one, if you remember, I said this was not gonna be in there. This is gonna work a little bit differently. But the decor will include these vines. So we'll do the upside down one first. I might need to, yeah, move these a little bit. There we go. Now I should be able to grab it. And so we're going to put that up here. Do that. And then we got the small one. And then what else goes into decor? Actually, I think that's all the decor, isn't it? Oh, no, I'm done. I need this. That's not how that works. All right. Nope, I did it again. And then we need the bush. Behold, a bush. For the sake of it, I'm gonna make these the same height. This one doesn't need to be, but. And then we got this one. So this is the decor sheet. So it's just random things we put in the world to make it look nice. And then the last sheet, I think, is the entities sheet. So entities, we need... So this one, I don't actually have to place it anywhere. The only reason to have the entities sheet is just to say where I want certain things to spawn. So since these guys will spawn anywhere, actually maybe I should set spawn points. I think I will set spawn points so that I don't have to like write an algorithm to determine where to put them. So we'll have 2 of these, and then thinking, let's do that, and then need the box. That's an entity. And then we need the anvil. And then we need the 4 directions for the plant spawns. So the way I'll do that, I just need like, do it as a lightly colored block or box. And then we'll do like 16 by 16. And then I'll do like a mini thing here. So that's how I'll know which way it'll go. So this one will be left walled, and then this will be rotate left 90 degrees, and then rotate 180, and then this is turning into a surprisingly ambitious jam game because of all the random things I have in mind. I think this works though. I'm pretty sure I can do this. Let's see. All right. So this is the entity sheet. Entities. And so there's still more stuff I gotta pull out of this. So we've got our icons, we've got our grass. The grass is an easy one. I have to pull up Yannick again to see how this is supposed to work. Data, images. So here's the stuff for this. There should be like a grass thing. Grass. So yeah, the base should be at the center of the image is how it's done. So here's what I'll do. I'll grab this. And actually, just to save some time, so it's 7 tall, which means I need 13. And what I'll do, I need that as my secondary. So this is not a sprite sheet. This is going to be different. So this will be the first one. Images, and I just make a new folder and call it grass. Do I have to name these something specific? I already forgot. So, nope, that's not it. Stuff, Yannick. Where's my grass? Grass. Okay, so the way it's done is grass underscore and then the name or the so we do that, and then we just grab this one, file, save as grass1. It's loaded like alphabetically or something. The order does matter. It actually means something. Was kind of how you identify it. So they're all gonna have the same like base dimensions. So all right, so that's the grass. Next up, UI stuff. I think I'll just make a UI folder. That'll do it. And then background. Okay. So UI, where'd my folder go? Data, images, and we'll have like a UI folder here. And then these are not sheets either. So I just save them as is. Go images, and we go UI, and I'll just call this slot. Now we've got 3 item types. There's plant fibers, the first one. So we'll do item plant fiber. And then oh yeah, so these need to be 12 by 12. That's also important for consistency. Item, and then this one will be gravity cell. Is this 12 by 12? I got one more. I think I wanted it to be like this way though. Item gravity boots. So those are the 3 items. Now I need the keys. So these ones could be grouped together into one image, so I don't have to like render them separately. So this will just be like movement tutorial. And then now these ones do need to be independent. So we got this one. This will be X key. And then we need the C key and the V key. And then the V key. That's the wrong thing. I messed up. I closed the window I shouldn't have. V key. So now it's just these 6, I think. And then I need these 2 kind of on their own. So this will be flip ability pool. And then, oh, you know what? That needs to be a specific dimension. Oh, that's fine, yeah. I will need to probably adjust the battery one because it's not wide enough. Ready? And then cool down. Now I gotta do the same for this. The dark color and the black can be just used interchangeably in this case because the background's already that color. So don't have to worry too much about that. So this is a battery. I'll call it power ability cooldown. And then power ability ready. And then full. Full. All right. So those are those images. Now the last thing is those two miscellaneous images. So I can go ahead and add them in. Oh wait, no, I need a background. So there's that one too. Background. Gotta add this stuff. There's a couple ways to do this. I'll start small. I'll save as star1, star0. And then we've got, this will be star1. Star1, no, that's 2. These need to be in order for a reason. I will determine their frequency based on some other stuff. Like, I want there to be more of the small dots than the big ones. So this was 2, replace that. And then this one will be 3. And this will be planet 0 and then planet 1. Or moon. No, it's not a moon. Call it asteroid. 0. It's more like a moon, but because asteroids aren't really round. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and rename that. It's weird though, because it doesn't make sense for there to be a moon here, or else the orbit of the asteroid, or else the gravity of the asteroid is going to be affected. But there's a lot of things that don't quite make sense. All right, so that's those, and then now it's just these two miscellaneous ones. So we've got this one. And this is the. Oh, fortunately, it's exactly 16 across, which means I can center. It's automatically centered. We'll call this plant. And then that's the one that generates these things. And I'll call this just like fiber ball or something. Fiber. Is it fiber RE? Is this just, is that a different word, or is it just a difference between like the UK and US spelling? I'm actually not sure, but whatever. Anyway, so I just exported all those images that I need to files. I'll go ahead and save that, I think. So like now, yeah, I've got all my images here. Everything I could need. So the next thing is to implement the Pigpen framework so that I can start making stuff. And I gotta like make the world that you play in, shove the player in there, do the gameplay mechanics for movement. So I've already done the artwork, so I'll just remove this now. So game world and movement mechanics is next. But I'll read chat. Where was I? Night Cowboys. What? Oh, I guess the characters. Do I have Discord? Yes, it's in the description of this stream. There's also Discord for the Alakajam if you want to join that too. That's mostly if you're just participating though. My tiles have pixels poking out from the general square. Yep. So I don't do pixel-wise collisions. It just knows the tiles of the world are 16 by 16, but then it can handle rendering oversized tiles. I don't mix. I don't have any pixel collisions at all. Um, uh, were I always good at making pixel art? No. You can look at my 10-year video. I was definitely not. Uh, do I usually use MS Paint? Yes. Might as well just use a Notepad. I wrote this file in Notepad, and then I just loaded it up in for the stream in VS Code. But I mean, my original notes were in Notepad. Why are there gingerbread man? For comedic effect. Uh, KLM are all on the bottom right next to arrow keys. Uh, those are kind of no. I don't think that was consistent on Zerdy. Uh, what am I gonna do for this game? Here's the notes I have. This is my game design document. Or what is it? What is the full name? Is it game design document? I think that might be the term. If you like write a document for with like images and stuff to communicate the game design. It might just be a design document. I'm not sure. But this is a game jam, so I don't have time to do something like that. Even then, I don't. I normally just have something like this. I keep track of my head because I don't work in teams normally, so I don't have to communicate my ideas with people really in terms of design. Uh, what game am I making? Is this? How much game dev knowledge would I recommend having before jumping into your first game jam? I mean, you should be able to do the basics, and what you can do is you can just kind of look at the theme for a game jam and then decide if you want to participate. Because in a lot of cases, you'll see that like, there may be a theme where you can't come up with something that's within your abilities, or you just might really not like the theme in general. So you could just look at the theme first before deciding to participate. Like in this case, it's Gravity. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I've seen worse themes. um, but yeah. So in general, I mean, you should be able to make some basic games, and like if I mean, you can even specialize in one genre. Like you could just know how to make platformers, and I mean, not um, just know the basics, like how to do collision detection and stuff like that. I mean, or you could like make what do you call them? A point and click adventure. Those are like some of the code wise. Those are some of the easiest things to make or to understand how to make. So you can make like a point and click adventure type thing. So as long as you have like a basic type of game that you can make where you know enough to be a bit flexible with it, so that you could potentially fit with the theme, you could try to join a jam. I think they're decent to participate in as soon as you're able to. So the only time it's too early is when you like actually can't make a game. A bug in the grass. Uh, in Lollipop Ninja, there's grasshoppers that jump out while you're running around, and I think that was made for an Alakajam. I think that was the first. No, wait, was it the second Alakajam? I think that I made that for. Man, I put so many hours into making Lollipop Ninja. That was crazy. I did not sleep much, and I was very busy that weekend because that was a 48-hour game jam game. Uh, Seven color cheater. No, wait, no, it's not seven. I'm pretty sure it's because the black won't appear in the game at all. That's only just for Samsung's transparent. Um, it's only six. uh, how much longer am I going to stream for? I'm probably about to end stream here for a little bit, just to get dinner, and then I might stream for like another hour tonight too. Oof. Man, I might have to push on this tomorrow because I'm also planning to cook the food that I'm gonna eat for most of Saturday as well tonight. So we'll see if I have time for this. I might stream for like just an hour or so because my bedtime is now like 11 because I have a job and I need to keep a reasonable schedule. Um, But yeah, so I'll probably end this one in like a few minutes here and make some food that I'll be eating today and tomorrow. And then I'll come back in like an hour and a half, 2 hours maybe. Am I a pixel artist? I guess you could say that. It's not, I'm a coder first. My job is in software engineering. Uh, yeah, someone came through and gifted 50 memberships, so it just got passed around to everyone. Uh, which language? It's all gonna be Python and Pygame and a little bit of modern GL. All right, I think I caught up on comments, so I'm gonna end this stream here. I got the artwork done. We got ourselves this thing. This is what this stream was. How long was that? How long have I actually been streaming for here? Almost 3 hours. So this was 3 hours. If I weren't talking through things and doing other stuff, this would probably be like an hour and a half maybe. Streaming does slow me down a fair bit. But yeah, so I did that. So that should be mostly outwork for the game until I do animations. And I'll do the animations as I need them. But this should be most of what I need for now. Oh, actually, one thing I forgot to do. We got to create the entity structure here. So we've got I need to put these images in here. So I think we'll do entities, player, idle, and then this will be image 0. And then for these ones, so the idle, so this will be like, so it's gonna like convert types, I guess. No. I'm gonna do a fall one. But not what I wanted. So they'll be like waving their arms and stuff. And so this will be the NPC idle image 0. And then we also need, that's good enough. this will be NPC fall, because once you give them boots, that's when they stop floating and they'll drop down to the ground. So those can be synced animations, and that's how I'll do that. But yeah, so that sets up the other images I need for the entities. But yeah, what'll happen is the animations will be in these folders basically as different images. So let's just do that. Anyways, I don't use any other libraries. I have my own tooling that I use for platformers. You can watch my tutorial. I have multiple tutorials about that if you want to look into it. Anyway, so yeah, I'm at 3 hours. Gonna go make some food for the jam, and then I'll hopefully be back later tonight. If I am back later tonight, it'll be like in probably 1.5 to 2.5 hours from now. And it'll be just for a little bit to get the basics in. And then most of the work is going to be done tomorrow because I kind of started because I was handling other stuff and I had to come up with an idea and I didn't really get to start until like 5:30. Um, so today is going to be like what, 4 hours in total maybe, and then tomorrow could be very well be like 12 hours of streams, and that'll start. And I mean, you can see my time over here. So I mean, I'll probably be up and streaming by 10 a.m. maybe. So in 14 hours.